we make a funny...
Water bison.
We're recording again. Got it on tape.
And this is why I hate you.
Don't worry, we hate you too.
Oh, god damn it. I knew something was off.
What?
Yeah, now the background picture says it's the Panzercast with Panzerfire, Duke Turtle Rock, USSR Yuri, Striker 2521, and Jano 233. Actually, it's Zachg56.
I'm a stand-in.
Yeah, Jano had to swap out for a last minute under his own will. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. We're going to beat him to death later, don't worry.
Roger that, let me see if I can actually block this.
No, keep it, and I'll just randomly start saying, I'm a stand-in during the podcast.
No!
We will crucify you.
Already on it!
You mean you already haven't?
Wait, where the hell did you get the huge ass cross?
We're in Canada! We have tons of wood!
You have wood?
Yes, I have a
You're in the middle
right
of the
now.
goddamn city.
Striker, you're surrounded by trees!
I can get across easily. How the fuck do you get one in downtown Toronto?
There's actually a Home Hardware like 5-10 minutes away.
Oh,
Yeah.
so the shitty lumber. Good for you.
No, it's a good one because it's got this giant lumber yard.
Oh, so it's better than the shithole we have. Good for you.
Yeah.
So, topics. The first order of business.
I think we should introduce... Well, we kind of introduced ourselves. I'm Yuri, we have Duke, Striker, Panzer, and Zach for Jano.
So, topics?
Topics for today are Russian involvement in Syria against the Islamic State in the Levant, the Japanese Self-Defense Force becoming the Japanese Army, and finally, the new Canadian-made movie by Paul Gross called Hyena Road.
Which I haven't seen the trailer of it yet.
I just linked it in the other chat.
Oh, well, I'm gonna put the link on, maybe show it on the... on the podcast video.
We're gonna talk about the movie first, since that's just a quick little one, and I'm really the only one that understands it.
Roger that.
Because you're Canadian?
Explain.
No, because I've seen the trailer. Basically, Hyena Road, as directed by Paul Gross, which was shown at the 2015 Canadian Toronto International Film Festival. It's basically about the Canadian Army building a road in Afghanistan and having issues building said road in Afghanistan. That's it.
I swear, if your combat engineers weren't the ones building it...
It would be done shittily, let's just say that, if it wasn't us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's all I could tell. Oh, hey. Best part is, the director is also playing one of the characters.
That's always a good
Is
sign.
he Clint Eastwood?
No, he's Paul Gross. He did the same thing in Passchendaele.
Oh, okay. I know the one you're talking about now, Yuri. I know the person.
That one.
That was a good movie.
It was a good movie. Too bad it is not a topic. Moving on.
Yeah. So...
It looks good, and I recommend everyone sees it. It's coming out on the 9th of October in Canada.
Nice. I got some pictures here that I'm going to be showing on the podcast video. The first one is the main poster for the film. And then we have... Oh yeah, I think this is a picture of a bunch of the actors here, all standing with their rifles, like it's a Michael Bay movie.
And one idiot standing in the open with fucking cat pat instead of standard issue desert camo.
Because that's how he rolls.
Everyone else has desert camo and tan backpacks. This is the only motherfucker with the cat pat backpack.
So, Canada can into war films. Canada can
also, what I'm excited for is it's finally featuring the Canadian Armed Forces, and it's featuring all of our tanks and trucks and all that good stuff.
Hey, but the Man of Steel had Canadian troops.
Man of Steel?
Yeah, didn't you see the film?
What the fuck?
No.
Get out! Get out!
Man
You're
of
expelled! I banish you
Steel.
from this Panzercast.
Oh, it's Superman, so of course I'm not gonna watch it anyways, because it's fucking Marvel or shit like that.
I don't like Marvel.
I am
Where you
super
don't
offended.
like superhero movies.
I am super offended.
Good.
No.
I don't care.
Panzer, it's like how we don't get offended over your obsession with tuna.
Yeah.
But
Do not.
Star Wars is Marvel.
It's Disney
Disney's.
now.
Disney
So-
bought it out.
So is Marvel.
Yeah, but Disney owns Marvel and Star Wars.
And it was originally LucasArts.
Disney
Sure.
owns everybody. I'll be surprised. I would be surprised if
Getting off topic!
if Disney didn't own us all already.
Shut up!
Well, Walt Disney does technically own my ass because I'm part of the 501st Legion.
Oh, really? You're one of the
Yeah.
really elite cosplaying groups.
Yeah!
I actually know those guys. Yeah, they do good shit.
The funny thing is, I'm doing an event tomorrow for the 501st.
Is it Make-A-Wish?
Star Wars night.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
We've
boring.
done Make-A-Wish before.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next topic. After we've basically exhausted the smallest topic we have of the night. Also, before I forget, apologies for missing out on last week, like we promised and all that shit. We suck. That's all.
You
Shut
suck.
the
Okay,
bum up.
so Japan.
You suck.
You suck.
You suck.
But, yes, Japan. Finally, after 70 or so years, Japan's getting its army back.
So, who wants to go invade China?
I do it.
I do.
I think all of Japan does too.
But, yeah, Japan, after World War II, Japan has been forced to have a defense army only instead of an actual army. The defense army was granted UN peacekeeping abilities and all that so they could send their forces overseas to help, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, they're now an army now, and they have 2 brand new helicarriers, which are very sexy looking. Panzer, I want you to put pictures of them in the stream, or on the podcast.
Oh, come on, I need to go. Fine. Fine. I'm gonna go. Don't want the pictures. God damn it. The Hyuga class, are they called, right?
Hyuga. Oh, damn.
Japan's new...
Hyuga class. Let me see what's on Wikipedia.
It's a Hyuga, yeah.
Hyuga!
They are by IHI Marine United. They're part of the JMSDF.
It's the Hyuga. It's the helicopter destroyer, right?
Yeah, it's the big helicarrier.
Okay, yeah, I know that one.
It's an ASW.
Just to clarify, the term helicarrier only applies to Shield's helicopter carrier that flies in the air. That's a helicarrier.
I want the Shield helicarrier. Where is that?
Does not exist. It only exists.
Bro, get on that! I want one!
Well, just give me $3.4 trillion and we'll start working on it right away.
Apparently the construction of the first ship, Hyuga, was started in 06 and it was launched in 07, and the second of them called the ISC on the 21st of August.
You say, you idiot.
Issei, I don't know Japanese.
It's
Issei?
ISC. It's really easy to pronounce as Issei.
Shut up!
Issei-san.
Anywho, they can launch a squadron of Yokosuka D4Y dive bombers. No, that's the wrong one. That's about 1943. My mistake.
Dishonorable.
No, these are the right ones.
These two ships...
Yeah, you're reading the aviation battleships. Never mind.
Yeah.
They're actually really big.
They were. They had a super battleship, too.
The comparison shot between Hyuga and the Nimitz.
The Hyuga, yeah, it looks like an Essex or something like that. Like about the size.
I'd say they took a standard destroyer and just elongated it. Then put a flat top on it.
Yeah.
That is essentially what they did.
It was succeeded by the Izumo and preceded by the Shirane. We're sorry, Japan, for butchering your language.
Yeah.
Shira.
Sorry.
What are you reading that to, Yuri?
Oh! Hey! I just made a mistake. The Hyugas are not their newest.
What? What's
The
the
Hyuga helicopter destroyer.
Yeah.
Why are we reading the Hyuga?
Oh!
Because Hyuga.
Yeah, I know which one it is. It's the Izumo.
The Izumo and her sister ship Kaga.
Are you sure it's not Kagato?
Oh, yeah, no. Let me see.
Their pennant numbers are DDH 183 and DDH 184.
Wrong picture. Yeah, I need to download this again. God damn it.
Fuck. Oh well. We're sorry for our suckiness.
So
But the primary mission is all what we known. Apparently, if the Izumo were to operate fixed-wing aircraft, they would be limited to those capable of STOVL, or short takeoff vertical landing operations. And Japan has acquired the F-35A for use by the JASDF, but has not indicated whether it would purchase the Stovall F-35B.
That's actually, Japan's saving quite a tiny bit on these destroyers. 1.2 billion per Izumo class.
Or 113.9 billion yen.
But still, that's not too bad.
Yeah. What is it armed with? It is armed with 2 Phalanx CIWS and 2 CRAM.
7 ASW helicopters and 2 SARs. 14 aircraft maximum.
Not bad, actually. With 970 crew and troops.
It's a carrier, right?
It's a... I call it escort carrier.
Yeah. But I still doubt that they're gonna be able to put planes into it. I've read elsewhere in a Japanese defense blog that the deck of the carrier is not suitable for aircraft or large aircraft operations. Basically,
no, it is not.
Basically, it's...
Tell that to Doolittle.
Yeah, apparently it's not able to operate carriers, aircraft like, say, the Harrier or the F-35B, which...
Unlike a normal carrier, the Izumo class, the Izumos, it doesn't have a slingshot or cable wire.
No, so standard cattle-bore aircraft like the F-18C or the MiG-29K or the Su-33K, they're not gonna work.
Also, they've now done away with slingshots. They have magnetic drive launching systems.
Nice.
Yes, but that is the same principle.
Kinda, but it's less tedious.
And plus,
it's more efficient. And if there is one thing the Japanese like, is efficiency.
Unfortunately, those are only available for the Americans, so we're gonna see them on the Nimitz.
Not quite. That electromagnetic catapult will be also installed on the new British aircraft carriers, the Queen Elizabeth class.
Yeah.
Huh. I guess India is going to follow suit as well with their newest one.
Yuri, I found out why Izumo won't be carrying jets.
Isn't Russia still using steam?
Hang on.
For theirs?
What do you think, Striker?
It's the length of her flight deck. Her flight deck is about 40 meters short of the original Enterprise, and that they cut the wire on the Enterprise. They're almost off the carrier deck.
Yep. It's got a length of 248 meters. That's small.
Well, I wouldn't be too worried about either the Isumo or the Hyuga class carriers, since they're not going to be able to accommodate major aircraft. However, what they show is a tendency to build ever bigger ships. And I think
the Hyuga is actually smaller than the Izumo.
Yeah, well, the Izumo is newer. That is why they're actually getting bigger.
Bigger is right. Remember how Japan's biggest ships in World War II were Kagi and Kaga? She's 20 meters shorter than Kaga.
What?
Izumo is roughly 20 meters shorter than the Akagi class aircraft carriers in World War II.
So yeah, you could pretty much argue that Japan is already building ships almost as big as their World War II carriers.
Yeah, I can somehow see this going over quite well in the near future.
Oh, China completely hates it, believe me.
Oh yeah, for good reason.
Although I could see Japan actually being the one to bring back the battleship.
That actually brings up a good point. The battleship, it's had its day.
Didn't Trump promise to bring back the battleships?
Goddamn advanced AA there is.
The problem with the battleships nowadays is that aircraft and aircraft carriers by far outstrip them in terms of range.
Also, in the fact that
you got to remember the advanced AAA platform that most modern countries had.
Yeah, but also keep in mind of the fact that modern weaponry technology is advancing. So in the near future, we could see destroyers, cruisers, and all that having a naval rail cannon.
Well, the funny thing is, modern day destroyers are essentially the equivalent. They're the same size as like World War II battleships.
Yeah, they're fucking massive, but they're a destroyer. And we all know destroyers as dinky little tin cans.
Yes. Just look at Taffy 3.
God bless Taffy 3.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because, as you know, America is testing out rail cannons. I think they have an M32 megawatt or something like that rail cannon right now. Or it could be 64. I can't remember which. And it's been pretty successful so far. So could you imagine outfitting a ship with a couple of those?
Each railgun can fire...
supposedly the range is like 400 miles or something like that.
Around that, and apparently each shell can do around Mach 5 or Mach 10.
Yep. Battleships might make it back.
Canada sucks.
Literally making the railgun have the fastest projectile in the entire world.
Yeah. But yeah, Yuri, the Canadian fleet sucks.
We have, what, 4 submarines?
4 submarines, 16 frigates, and about 20 light patrol craft.
Yeah, we'll just fold them into their American Navy.
Actually, interesting fact about Canadian Navy while we're on it, we've had a couple carriers in our history.
Yeah, and then he got rid of them.
Support them because they were so expensive.
Yeah. The most recent carrier that was in the Canadian Navy, or the RCN, was the HCMS Bonaventure, which saw good service in the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Then we ran out of money and had to scrap it.
Yep.
And even our ships are friggin' puny by length. The Halifax class, which is our mainline frigate, is only 132 meters.
Yeah. It's actually one of the tiniest bits of our military, with only 8,500 regular personnel and 5,100 reserve personnel.
You think with ocean on 3 sides of the country, we'd have a bigger navy.
Yep. So far, we've been in World War I, World War II, Korea, Gulf War, Afghanistan, Operation Deliverance, Operation Mobile.
And now we're just...
President.
Now we're doing anti-pirate work and all that.
Anti-pirate and bombing.
Pacific fleet's gone.
Eh?
Because most of the destroyers, more than half the destroyers are in the Pacific.
Yep.
And then there's the Russian Navy.
Russia strong.
With their giant fucking cruiser.
They only got like 2 or 3 of them.
For now.
I don't know. That's still a design from the 70s, 80s.
Panzer! It's a feared ship!
It's a what?
Russian.
We fear the ship!
We fear a ship.
It's Russian. You know it's going to be goddamn near bulletproof.
The Kirov class battle cruiser.
Okay, if it's named the Kirov class, then I'm going to walk the other way and go hide in the basement.
Kirov airship reporting.
Kirov reporting.
What?
What's its armament?
Panzer, you suck.
Oh, well, that wasn't called for.
Okay, here's the armament. 4 single 30mm Gatling cannons.
Jesus.
2 pop-up lowered SA-N4 SAM launchers. 20 SS-N19 cruise missile launchers. 12 SA-N6 SAM launchers. And 1 twin SS-N14 anti-submarine warfare surface-to-air missile launcher.
Jesus Christ.
Putin for president,
And
2016.
Striker. Want to know the best part? That's just on the foredeck.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's the foredeck.
Putin for president, 2016. That's all I have to say.
I don't doubt it. What he's been doing for Russians lately?
It is the most feared battlecruiser.
Oh, I guarantee you, it's probably going to take it'll probably take more than 24 exorcists to put that thing down.
Yeah. And that's if they get past the CIWS.
Railguns.
And the Exorcist is pretty much the biggest friggin' anti-ship missile you can get your hands on.
Yep. And then they have the standard old Udaloy, sorry about this, Russia, the Sturgushki class corvette.
Sturgushki.
Yeah, that one. The Akula class submarine, the Kilo class submarine, and finally, the Admiral Kuznetsov carrier.
Isn't that the carrier we had in service in the 80s or the 70s?
Yeah.
Now all they need is CSU-47s.
Right. It's one of the 2 Russian carriers with the raised bow.
Yeah. China has the other.
They should have never given it to China.
Yeah.
They never did. They bought it from the Ukrainians under the promise of turning it into a casino.
Bullshit.
From the Ukrainians.
It has 41 to 52 aircraft on board at a time.
And it's armored to fuck, from what I understand.
Let's see. Its displacement at max load is 61,390 tons.
That blows the Nimitz class and the new American class out of the water, from what I understand.
This thing is a heavy aircraft carrier.
Here's the thing. Russia's building big boats, which is good, but you know what America is spending their money on?
Bigger boats!
No! Worthless planes that only have 180 rounds of ammunition for their 20mm gun that doesn't even work.
Oh, you mean the F-35?
Yes.
The infamous F-35. The
like,
Joint Strike Fighter.
It's a mistake.
It is. The thing is, all of the Air Force, the top brass, is pushing for the F-35 when everyone else, Congress, the ground pounders, like, no. Even the pilots of the A-10 was like, we keep it. No, we want F-35. What's even worse is that they destroyed all the blueprints and whatnot for the A-10. So We can't build any more.
Well, then there's one option. You can learn from the Chinese how to reverse engineer.
That's what I'm thinking.
If it
Wow.
if it exists, you can reverse engineer it.
That's a big ass fucking carrier.
What?
The Gerald R. Ford class carrier.
Huh.
And there
Fully
goes
loaded. Fully loaded is 100,000 long tons.
That... What?
And there goes my other Russian
Approximately
joke.
100,000 long tons. So basically 100,000 tons fully loaded.
So that makes it the heaviest ship in the world.
Length is over. Yuri, the length is over 1,000 feet.
What's that in meters?
337. That's a pretty small fucking carrier.
330. That blasts the Kuznetsov, whatever the fuck, out of the water because it's 305 meters.
Yuri, that's
this is pretty much a giant.
It's longer than it.
This is pretty much America and Russia trying to one-up each other again.
Positive.
The ship doesn't even have a nuclear generator.
Which one? The Gerald Ford?
No, the Russian one.
Yeah, it's
For now,
driven
at
by-
least.
driven by the people from the Civil War they take prisoner.
Steam turbines, 8 turbo pressure boilers, 4 shafts, turbo generators, and diesel generators with fixed pitch propellers.
Then again, given Russia's bad history with nuclear equipment and reactors, it's kind of a smart move.
It can last 45 days at sea.
You see, Mother Russia has no use for nuclear reactors. All it needs is manpower.
It's for the Navy, apparently.
Zach, they
Yes?
don't need nuclear reactors because they kind of blow up in their own faces.
Exactly!
I mean, do we even want to discuss Chernobyl?
That never happened. That was actually in Ukraine.
Yeah, but it was Soviet-owned.
Wait, let me get my Soviet cap on.
Oh, my God.
Holy sweet mother of Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Good thing I get Yuri. I think I'm gonna kill myself if I buy this.
What?
The trip attack.
Oh, I already have that.
Oh, for World of Warships?
Yeah, 85.66 for
Do
the
it. It's worth it.
Ow, Otago class heavy cruiser, $63. Jesus, they upped the price on their stuff.
Really? On the EU, the EU stuff, the Otago is only $58 Canadian.
No, what the fuck? I'm logged in, but it's saying on mine 6308.
I'm on EU.
Oh, you're on the EU one. I'm on .net.
Dude, they're ripping you off. Also, next
You
topic.
also got to remember, War
Fuck.
Games American. We're 30 cents below the American dollar.
Yeah.
So finally, next topic, because we hardly did talk about Japan's new constitutional amendments. Instead, we talked about the carrier, and then
New
we talked
constitutional
about
amendment basically
destroyers.
means Japan can become a full new army and it can start buying military equipment.
I don't know.
Instead of
That's-
not just make it in home.
No, that's not what I read here. Let me see.
They're buying other equipment off the Americans and all that, but another one, they're building their own land-based equipment.
Source.
As if
Yeah.
they haven't done that already. Their firearms, the Hoyas, are actually built in Japan.
Let me
Same
see.
with their K2 tanks.
What it says here, what happened today is that Japan's upper chamber of parliament early Saturday approved controversial bills allowing the country's military to engage in overseas combat in limited circumstances. A major shift after 7 decades of pacifism. This is... Well, the article... Well, CNN has lately been very much like critical with their choice of titles against Japan's new constitutional changes, but
Yeah.
Does it surprise me?
well, in a world that is growing ever out of control, I'm seriously, nobody has a right to complain about what Japan is buying or
Not at all.
or what constitutional amendments they're doing after 7 decades. After all, if we're gonna consider this as signs of a rising militarism, what leaves the 12 to 15% annual increase in budget by the Chinese? In their military budget, I mean.
Yeah, basically, that Asian theater is just turning into a clusterfuck, and everybody's just trying to arm themselves.
Yep.
Oh, and yet America is disarming itself.
Yes!
That is so ironic.
This is a situation you Americans will not get involved in.
Oh, we will, thanks to the Mutual Defense Treaty, but if it occurs under Obama's watch, fuck.
Obama's got only 2 years left. Less than 2 years.
Yeah.
A year and a half.
Iran nuclear deal. That's all I can say.
In all honesty, though, we kind of can't get pissed off at Japan for this. I mean, technically, yes, we kicked their asses in World War II, but that's just because we got fucking lucky.
Yeah. And we got Big Bomb.
Two.
Yuri, this is basically also because they fucked up at Midway and missed all the carriers. If they sunk all the carriers at Pearl Harbor, America would have lost the war right away.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Yeah. Even Admiral in charge of the entire Jap fleet said, we fucked up big time because we didn't sink any of the 5 carriers in the Pacific. That's the only reason the U.S. won, is because of the 5 carriers basically fighting by themselves and dying in the Pacific to buy time for the fleet to be built up.
Actually, Yamamoto said if they got the carriers, it would have lasted. The war would have lasted longer. That's what he said.
The carriers were the major thing keeping Japan back. He focused so much attention on sinking Enterprise and its sisters.
Yeah. Well, do you realize how fast we were building carriers after Pearl Harbor?
Mm-hmm.
We were building them within months. Like
America's Navy after the war was recorded to surpass the British Navy during the entire rule of Britain and all that.
Not only that, but the Army had more ships than the Navy during World War II as well.
The problem is with World War II is a lot of countries were relying on the World War I era dreadnoughts.
Well, here's also the thing. You have to realize that America was also supplying the Allies prior to its involvement in World War World War II. I'm sorry. So we weren't even at full wartime production, and we were doing this. We were building ships. Yeah.
It was just that the Yamamoto wasted so much effort trying to sink some of the carriers and kept failing to sink the last carrier. He just threw away too many lives.
The Gray Ghost.
Yeah. So that's all it was. If it wasn't for the American carriers, the war could have gone down quite a bit differently. Because if they
he said it would have lasted 5 years longer or something like that.
Yeah. Or it could have been Japan. Remember, it took 3 years, 2 to 3 years after America got involved in the war with Japan, before the Essex class even came off the production line.
Yep.
While Japan still had like 12 carriers.
All right.
Shogaku Kaga here too.
They had a lot. Let's just keep it at that.
Too many carriers.
Yeah, they had roughly 12 carriers.
But yeah, going back to Panzer's previous statement, or was it your statement, Striker, about how we can't really get angry about what Japan's doing? You see, the thing is, I have no problem with them remilitarizing themselves. The biggest problem I have is the fact that, like in the last decade or so, or the last couple of years, they've been No, yeah, pretty much the last decade or so, they've been whitewashing their own involvement with World War II and the years beforehand. They were like, I actually went into a war museum when I was in Japan a few years ago. They were calling their forces in China, in the Nanking area, honorable peacekeepers.
Oh, yes, now.
That brings on a whole other topic, which we can discuss next week if you want.
I agree.
Because that opens up an entire can of worms if we bring it up.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree that the way the Japanese, or specifically the Japanese government, is dealing with history is condemned. Well, it has to be condemned. That kind of shit.
They're gonna repeat history if they continue.
I don't know. You know what Japanese prime ministers have that no other countries don't have? A very short life expectancy. Seriously,
what?
They change prime ministers more often than a baby changes diapers.
So
didn't one get assassinated on TV by some crazy Japanese student?
What?
Yeah.
Japan's fucked.
Are we talking about the prime minister or are we talking about the baby?
The prime minister.
The prime minister baby.
So the prime minister is a baby.
Oh, it's worse.
Yes.
The prime minister relies solely on a single figurehead that's born into the position. And honestly, I'm starting to think they'd be better off bringing back the royal imperial family.
You see, Japan has created cloning vets specifically for the purpose of breeding prime ministers.
Anyway, to end off the discussion and go into our final topic of the night, just Google Unit 731 and be done with it.
Be done with it. Alright, next topic. Russian forces in Syria.
Dun, dun, dun!
Alright, you're not gonna do that anymore. I'm gonna go get the sound effect for next podcast.
Call that was gonna happen.
And the funny thing is, none of us are drunk.
Not yet.
I know.
Oh shit! I got 2 cans waiting for me in the fridge.
Wait, it's a Friday night at 8:20 after 8 Panzer, and you haven't been into your first beer. Are you feeling all right?
At his time.
Who are you, and what did you do with Panzer?
Right, but still, roughly around this time, he's been into his first beer.
Nah, I'm saving the beer for game night. It's game night, right?
Yeah, it's game night.
Yes.
It's game night.
But Striker has to work.
Hey.
Anyways, back on topic. Russians.
The Russian military is the first military of the coalition in the Middle East that's fighting ISIS to actually have a full military presence there and not just an air force.
Yeah, well,
You see,
how fucked up Syria is right now, I am not surprised.
Yeah.
You see,
the coalition went in, or the Israelis invaded and fucking killed them all.
I like the second option.
what, the kill them all idea?
Yeah?
I can get behind that. I've been behind that for a long time.
I've been behind that ever since I heard of them.
Oh, of ISIS?
Yeah.
Sorry, I got lost. You're talking about killing all of ISIS, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I support that motion too.
But, the Russian army has, moved in the entire military, if you want to say, into Syria. And
come on, it's not the entire military, it's just a single,
a brigade.
naval infantry brigade. There are numbers, I think it's called, 801. They're basically Russian Marines.
Any Russian military force is inside Syria as we speak with tanks, planes, trucks, everything.
They're building a base, preparing for their brothers to rush in.
Get it?
No Russian here.
But the issue I have to bring up is, with all the coalition airstrikes that are going on, there's bound to be a friendly fire incident. Because as we all know, ISIS has captured countless amounts of armored vehicles, and some of those armored vehicles are the T-72 main battle tank.
Not only that, but Humvees as well.
And the issue with the T-72 and the T-90 is they both follow Russian design doctrine before the T-14, and therefore they look kind of similar.
Yeah, that is why the Russians want to have a direct line of communication with the American military established.
Which will help.
Yeah, that's
I already know
help.
Obama won't do that.
Actually, I read that. Let me see, where is it? Oh, here. CNN is your friend. Russia sends fighter jets to Syria. No. After talks with U.S. Let's see. Defense Secretary Ashton Carter spoke with his Russian counterpart Friday as Russian military moves inside Syria continued to escalate with the arrival of fighter jets. In a constructive conversation, in brackets, both Carter and Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu agreed to further discuss mechanisms for deconfliction in Syria. Pentagon Press Secretary Peter Cook
kill them all.
said in a statement as the United States and its allies continue military operations against ISIS inside Syria.
Mm-hmm. You know,
although that's the only reason everybody went in there was to keep Israeli from nuking Syria.
And we're like, okay, you know what? We're not gonna let these guys fuck up an entire nation. But the reason why I bring up the whole tank issue is the T-72 and the T-90, they look kind of alike when you're at 18,000 feet looking through a camera.
The T-90 is a development of the T-72, so...
yeah, since they followed the original design doctrine, very low to the ground with that kind of squashed turret.
And that's why all Russian tankers are really, really short.
Yeah, that's why in World War II, most of the drivers were women. They were small enough to fit in that compartment.
And they were driving them up right off the assembly line, too.
Literally!
Oh, I need music for this.
Tank back under attack. Oh, let's just roll every tank off the assembly line up to defend the factory.
Yep, that's literally what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Panzer, in the podcast, I know you're going to leave this part in because we're not cutting it. Put a side-by-side up of a T-72 and a T-90.
Yeah, if you have paid attention to the chat, you'd know that my internet is currently fucked. For some reason, my modem is letting the Skype call work, but Google... I'm gonna see if my Firefox is fucked. I'm gonna see if Chrome is working.
Anywho, viewer, when you
try
have
Internet
time,
Explorer.
If you have the free time when you're watching this, pause the video, pause the video right now, and don't when I'm talking right now.
Do it now, do it.
Pause the video.
If you keep hearing this video, it's gonna be the end of the world. Stop it.
When you pause the video, I want you to Google in one tab the T-90 and in the other tab the T-72. Put those pictures side by side, and then you can understand the troubles the Air Force will have differentiating.
It's Russians. Acceptable loss. That's all they're gonna say.
Anyways, you can pause the video right now. We'll wait for you. Go. Come on. Pause the video.
Chop.
Alright, are they gone? Okay, let's carry on. If you didn't pause the video, good on you. You get this fun little bit. Even though the people that did pause the video are going to see it anyways. But oh well, I have to have my fun somehow. Please help me.
You're beyond help.
Shut up. But anywho, yeah, this action by Russia is welcomed by some and not by others, because Russia is backing the Assad regime, and it's the regime we don't like.
Nobody likes it except the most unpopular kids in the neighborhood.
So Russia only.
A lot of the people who are...
Have you noticed Have you noticed how these countries like Russia, Venezuela, North Korea, Zimbabwe, all the countries that are on everyone's shit list, suddenly start to back up each other? For example, I think Venezuela or Nicaragua are among the only or very few countries in the world that recognize Russia's annexation of Crimea.
And for that, we hate them even more.
They're communists.
They are.
They are very much.
The problem is they're viewing this whole thing in Syria with an eye because the North Koreans and Syria have worked together in the past to try and develop nukes.
Yeah. But really, why would you want to work with North Korea on something involving nukes?
Because it was the only way, believe it or not, they could be secretive and the Israelis not find the fuck out about it.
Well, they found out now!
And oh boy, are they pissed.
There was a huge-ass explosion in Korea.
Yeah, everyone's hating everyone, basically. But the issue with right now is until Russia and America agree to the all the chat and like comm sharing and everything, one misplaced bomb could start another war, basically.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
And which is kind of why I want the T-14 to be, you know, kind of chop.
Deployed?
Because it looks different.
It looks like
shit. Yeah, but it's not following Soviet doctrine for tank design.
You know what I would like?
Which differentiates it so much.
You know what I would like to see? I would like to see the T-14 going against its older brothers and suddenly getting teabagged hard.
That would be hilarious.
That would be friggin' hilarious.
We'll see it in the next season of Girls und Panzer.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, he just proved he's a lolicon.
You can send your hate mail at zacharygraham@gmail.com.
Actually, I'm a tech helicopter.
God damn it, what are you, a hind?
Yes.
You filthy hinds.
Panzer.
Yep.
Drax is behind for him.
No.
But,
Baby.
yeah. Basically, Russia, tanks, ISIS, same looking tanks, America, walleyes, and ATGMs.
Yeah, well, anyway, I think I kind of want to see the Russians go in with all their forces.
It'd be fun to see the Russians in action again.
That is one. Well, they have been in action fairly often. First in
Georgia
and Chechnya, recently
Chechnya.
Ukraine.
Chechnya, tovarish.
Random South Russian Muslim Republic. Glasner-Pakistan, let's call it
like that. The most recent toe-to-toe, not like... Because we don't have T-90s and the T-90 MS steamrolling over the Ukraine.
Actually,
for now, at least.
Actually, there are pictures of T-90s steamrolling in Ukraine.
T-90...
Somebody took a photo of what appears to be a T-90, although, you know, the typical Russian Kremlin supporters are like, nah, it's just a T-72 that looks, hell of a
benefit
lot.
of doubt, it would be a T-72 or a T-84.
Yeah, but...
Funny thing is about Ukraine, in the whole Russia in Crimea and whatnot, or my Ukrainian friends don't think Russia's in... Well, they're involved in the politics, but they don't think Russia has any troops in Ukraine.
I think the only Russian troops inside the Ukraine as it is are on the Donetsk People's Republic side, but along the border.
Yeah, or in Crimea.
If there was a group of Spetsnaz in there, it would not shock me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there were Russians in Ukraine.
Oh, me neither.
Spetsnaz, because that's basically all the Russians do is deal with the terrorists from the... Spetsnaz do is deal with terrorists from those countries anyway.
Yes,
Pretty much.
you guys keep on thinking it's the Russians, so nobody can suspect it's
Shut
us.
The
Panzer!
Argentine.
Not TSG9! They're fucking SWAT officers!
Counter.
They are.
Yuri, even GSG9 admits they're just a souped up SWAT unit. Yuri, they had 2 guys on Deadliest Warrior. They said, yeah, basically, GSG9. Souped up SWAT unit.
Oh well, they're still awesome.
They are.
But yeah, everyone's just pointing the finger at everyone in the Ukraine because Soviet-era gear. It's kind of shared.
Yeah.
I know.
Warsaw Pact, anyone? Never heard of it.
Give them the whole new modern design with the friggin' squared off turret.
Yeah, and then the T90 MS, the T84 Oplot M or whatever, all the Modernas and all that.
Yeah, all the different. They changed the turret even a little bit, so it's an estate look even from distance.
Mm-hmm.
But now this is just going to cause a shit ton of problems. I'm expecting the Balkan just to explode in a fucking all-out war because Russia actually drops the wrong bomb.
Yep.
Speaking of dropping the wrong bomb, a few years ago, B-52 bomber was actually carrying nuclear warheads.
Over.
It was, I can't remember if it was like from the U.S. to Canada or something else, but we basically broke a treaty doing that.
Leave it to America to inadvertently break a treaty.
In all honesty, it's either going to be Russia starts a major war or North Korea starts a major war. It's going to be one of the two.
Or America just goes, I'm bored.
Oh, I don't doubt that happening either.
Yeah.
Now that North Korea is doing bullshit again, and that friggin' trade fire thing that happened across the DMZ a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Waiting on pins and nails to see who's going to fire the next friggin' shot in Korea, or if something's going to happen or calm down for 10 years, then it's going to happen again.
China's getting real tired of your shit, Korea.
China's getting tired of everyone. Shit.
They are.
Yuri, to quote one of the shittiest movies I've ever watched, American Warships, don't the Koreans know the entire world holds their damn breaths when they start shooting at each other?
We do!
We did.
Stop being dicks, North Korea! Just a quick update. We are 5 minutes remaining.
Have nukes.
Well, we
Now
got
that
5 more.
North Korea
No,
has
we got 8
nukes,
more minutes.
What
7 minutes, actually.
Me!
You lie.
It's 5 minutes left for the
No.
podcast.
No, we got, with the call has been last
Oh,
week.
right. Started a bit late. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, ignore all that then. But, yeah.
So yeah, Russians, Syrians, ISIS, it's gonna be a fun war. Not fun for the
Oh,
people
I'm pretty
involved,
watching it intently. I'm excited.
As
but
much
yeah,
as I like the idea of war in the Middle East, again,
All the time.
well, that's the
Oh,
only
yeah.
reason ISIS even got in there is because of the friggin' idiotic government letting the civil war erupt.
no, the
Yeah.
problem is Obama pretty much dropped the pair of balls he had, if he had any, and pulled America, as well as the rest of the coalition, out of Iraq, which essentially fucked it up.
Actually,
it did.
Kids
you're
did it on our own
right.
accord.
The British and the Americans were the last two to pull out. Germany, Norway, Canadians, and a couple of the other NATO countries already pulled out before Obama took office.
Well, no, here's the thing. When Bush left office, Iraq was stable. The entire region was relatively stable.
She was iffy.
Yeah, iffy.
Well, yeah.
Was at
Hence,
post-government.
hence, relatively stable.
That's better.
A year or two when Obama's in office, shit has pretty much hit the fan in Iraq and the entire Mideast. Well, what does that say?
But remember, all the Middle East and those terrorist groups were kind of created by America.
Well,
It was also kind of expanded on in a documentary. It was because the reason it calmed down is because the Bush administration was backing the Iraqi prime minister directly. Then Obama decided to start backing this guy too, which started all the shit back up.
Well, actually, the biggest problem is the fucking media pretty much getting in the way of sound military strategy. Because essentially, if we did what we did to Germany and Japan after post World War II, if we did, if we actually did what we did back then to Iraq, none of this shit would have been happening. Essentially, having a puppet government for a decade or so before returning civilian power to the local government or local people. That's what we should have done.
2 years in Iraq. Then the Bush administration got sick and tired of doing it and told the intelligence.
Well, you know why? You know why? You want to know why?
Why?
The fucking media was practically hounding. Yeah, the media was being asked like, "Oh, so many deaths." Historically speaking, what? 5 years for, or like 1,000 casualties or 1,000 deaths. Yeah, 10 casualties in Vietnam in what, like 5 months? That was an entire battle in D-Day or something like that. We had more casualties in D-Day than we did in the entire Operation Enduring Freedom.
It's because the media has grown a giant vagina over the years.
And all they care about is the fucking ratings.
Also remember, back in World War II, everyone had a clear present enemy.
Oh, yeah. Even in the Korean War. The problem is...
Status there now with ISIS. Everybody, including the Taliban, is starting to hate ISIS.
Fuck ISIS.
I mean, if the Taliban is hating them, then there's a problem.
Well, the funny thing is a lot of the Taliban, aside from the original leaders, are actually pretty cool. It's the top of the level guys that were the assholes, unfortunately.
Yeah. Also, as Panzer reminded us, we have 3 minutes left.
2 minutes.
Roger, 2 minutes left.
3 minutes, a minute ago. I'm counting. Should we try to end this now?
Yeah.
Right.
All right, we all need to get Soviet gear, go to Syria, fuck some shit up, and we all come back to my place for some Ukrainian vodka.
Here!
I could not agree more. Let's do that.
Yeah!
I already got my Afghanka.
All right.
We will see you all next week. Thank you to our special guest for joining us.
Wait, who's the special guest?
You and Striker!
Oh.
Idiot!
I thought I was a stand-in.
You're a special stand-in!
I feel so loved.
I love you too, Zach.
So yeah, well, let's hope we try to make another podcast next Friday. We need to come up with more topics of all ranges, from the military.
We need to be more prepared.
We need definitely to be more prepared. Well, I did.
God, the CIA is calling me.
Don't answer it. Don't answer.
They want to take us all on a free trip to Syria!
Yay!
Ah!
I gotta work.
Oh wow!
Always work. God damn it.
Would you really choose work over killing ISIS?
There's a chance I'd get killed, probably.
Whatever. We're gonna be fine.
We will have a tank.
Yeah.
I'd be more concerned with a Russian dropping a bomb on us more than ISIS.
Don't worry, I speak some Russian.
I feel much better now.
Zach?
Yes?
With your broken Russian, you're probably going to assume we're ISIS in disguise and they're going to bomb us instead of an actual ISIS target.
And that's what you think.
Oh well, podcast over. Good night, everybody.
See you guys next week.
Good night.
Thank you for tuning in to the Panzercast. I'm your host, Yuri. Panzer, come on.
Chop.
Yeah, Panzer here. See you guys later. Bye.
You suck. Bye.
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 Cheerio, chaps.